Hi everyone, it's Evelyn. We have a twin flame read for you today. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings your way. I hope you're having an amazing day. Boy, did I have a lot of downloads today. I literally just finished. I spent all day doing this stuff. So here goes, guys. Today is the 16th of December. 16 is the Tower. So sudden events coming in today, whether you consider them negative or positive. It's a sudden event, can be an epiphany, an orgasm even, any sudden event that comes up. The day adds up to 32.5, which is 32 is the Six of Wands. The journeyman, the journey, right? The one who's successful, gets attention, is leading the way. And then the 16, so something sudden good news comes in. So this is my 7-deck read for those of you not familiar with my reads. It's a lot of energy on the table with 7 decks. So if something doesn't resonate with you, don't force it to fit. There's going to be messages for everyone and other messages that may only be for a few or maybe even for one sometimes. So it is a big read. It is the main deck is the SIRIAN STARSEED deck. We have the Rider-Waite Mini, the Romance Angels Tarot Sexual Magic, the Numerology deck, as well as the Gilded Tarot and the Universal Golden Tarot. And I do pull an energy deck card or a couple cards. I've been using Scooby and the Journey of Love as well. If you should like a more personal reading, all my information is below in the details or at my website, twinflames3344.com. And I have a CD out there as well called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames by Evelyn Stainthorpe if you're interested. It's only $1. It's a great way to support me. And if you'd like to donate, the PayPal Me button is below if you're interested in that. And otherwise, I just want to thank you for coming and sharing your time with me today. And here we go with my messages and my downloads today. So the SIRIAN STARSEED deck, the main deck for the read, which is, I don't know if I took, well, I don't have the pictures taken right now, but I will post the main read. The full read is in front of you, and I usually state most of the cards, so you'll have the energy, but I'll put the main read from the SIRIAN STARSEED deck up on the tag. And that was done at 10:04. The center card for the main read was the Justice card. The challenge card is the 7 of Orbs, which is, instead of the usual liar, cheater, thief card, it's like someone passing downloads in a balloon, like receiving them and passing them on. The underlying energy being the 3 of Wands or the 3 of Flames, being very present to the moment, being present to the 3rd flame. The recent past is the 4 of Crystals, is like the 4 of Pentacles, and that for me is the Divine Masculine's heart in the Bat Cave, which is reversed today, so coming out. The King of Wands Shaman is in the crowning position, and he's reversed. Coming up in the read is the 3 of Pentacles or Crystals, which is that co-creation energy, whether it's work, school, church, the gym, doesn't matter what it is, that place of coming together. The twins seeing themselves as the 8 of Orbs or Swords reversed, so that release. Around them is the Hanging Man, which is also reversed, which means awake, idea, ego. The block for the twins is the 6 of Wands reversed. All right, so it's not the attention, it's not the success, it's not the leading the way, doing things under the radar or under the table. And then we end up at the Wheel of Fortune at the end, which is upright, and it is destiny. With the Ace of Wands after that, which is that big flame, you can probably see the flame from here, right here. See the orange of the flame up there? It's a really big flame. And then the last card up here is the 6 of Swords, which is that of peace. That's upright as well. And then it ends in the sun. So the read has mixed messages, but then the end is super powerful and positive. And there's a lot of stories going on here between the masculine and the feminine, and there are different issues going on. So there's a lot of stuff that comes up here, but there's a lot of stuff that's coming in here before I even get to the read. So I'm going to get going. The SIRIAN Starseed deck cut and dealt at 10:04, 10:04, good buddy, message received. At 10:06, being 10 is the Wheel of Fortune and 6 is the Lovers, TWA was coming up. Come fly with me, right? So that energy was coming up. Catch Me If You Can comes up for me. It's actually Pan Am, but it always reminds me of that when I say TWA, just because of the flying stuff. But there may be a reason that's coming up again. At 10:19, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun, I was getting REIT wheel, and REIT is an investment type. So I don't know if that's significant on the market today or in the news somehow, but also heal came up. So meaning healing, to heal your body, but also being a heel and the heel of the body, the heel of the foot. Also, the electric slide was coming up at 10:20, which is the Wheel of Fortune and a turn for the better, and Judgment. And eel was coming up too, so electric eel may be coming up as well. And then 10:29, which is the Wheel and the Three of Wands being present. Spaceship came up. Spaceship. And also that energy of a what word am I thinking of? Like a disc kind of energy, like a spaceship would be a disc, that kind of energy. And for some reason, when I started to do this, I kept thinking it was 10 instead of 12 for December. I was taking myself back to October. But again, the time was, 10 o'clock, that hour, so that may be. But 10, again, is the destiny number, and it is the turn for the better, and it is the final card of the read. Okay, because I always pull a few cards on either side, so they're extra. So, but the final card is this card up here, which is the destiny card. So, the Emperor and the Empress, being the numbers 3 and 4, were major in this read today, all over the read. At 10:30, which is 30 is the Four of Wands, the home, the union. The Emperor and the Empress coming up with the 3 and the 4. They just came up, and they also came together in multiple of reads of the 12 signs that I just did the past couple days. At 10:32, 32 being the journey again, the number of today that it adds up to. The 10 of Wands reversed, which for me the 10 of Wands is the Atlas energy, the weight of the world upon your shoulders, but it was reversed here. It literally floated to the ground. And I thought it was actually the Lover's card, but it wasn't. But then after I put it on the table, the Lover's card came out like 3 cards after it in the same section right there. So it was definitely related, the 10 of Wands reversed and the Lovers reversed. So at 10:43, I finished clarifying the read. 43 is the 3 of Cups of coming together. And the major arcana was Justice, the Hanging Man, and the Wheel. So a lot of Libra energy, and then the Hangman for me is Capricorn mostly, but it can be Pisces as well. We have 3 wands, 2 swords, 1 cup, and 2 pentacles. And the court cards, we just had the King of Wands within the read, and before the read was the Knight of Swords. The numbers in the code line were all about parenting, but that's not just parenting you, it's parenting your inner child, parenting your children, parenting your parents. And some other stuff comes up with that word, which we'll get to soon. But we had triple sixes here and double threes, which is the Christ vibration, the 7 of Wands. The 3 sixes being the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, and then another 6. So much about love, family, and community here, and the Lovers. And of course, triple sixes is also thought of as the shadow energy or the devil. We had 6, 7, 8, lay them straight. 34 of the 8 of Wands. 32:12 came up, which is again is the journeyman, the 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself. And that's the 33. But this is 32 is the 6 of Wands, not the 7 of Wands. The journeyman, good news coming in, success, all of that energy. And then the 12 of the Hangman. The 34 of the 8 of Wands, 46 of the 6 of Cups, which was upright today, the 2 children in the garden. 36 of the Atlas energy, and then the 1, 2, 3 jump comes up. And also 1, 2, 3 is a 3D. 12 is the Hangman, and then 23 is the King of Wands, who was reversed in this read, the Shaman energy. So a lot of acronyms came up in this code line for me today, all around parenting, and parenting was divided. It came up as Paran and then Ting, which they both have definitions, so I'm going to give you all of that. Also, the black box that came up yesterday came up back up again today, like a place where people keep an idol or something very special, a black box. A teapot was also coming up here, so I don't know if somebody keeps something in their teapot. But the code line all about parenting, and the number 14 on the code line came from 4, 7, and 3. And this was specifically coming up again, the Emperor and the Emperor. The time of the finishing of the read was 10:43. That's the 3 and the 4 of the Emperor and the Empress. And then again, it came up on the code line separately from that. 4 and 3 was 7 in the middle. And 7 is of another world, right? It's the journey to the other side, the chariot, the ascension vehicle. We have the Emperor on one side, the Empress on the other. Gaia, the 3, the Empress, the abundance, and the Sun, or the otherworldliness, is the 4 of going back home, which is why they always associate 3 with being a human, because 4 would be then going home to where we are not right now. 14 is the Temperance card, that of the angels, of that higher love and patience and balance, of course. And the 7 again of the Chariot is between the 3 and 4. The space between was big today coming up. So regarding the parenting and the code line here, we had multiple acronyms here. We had the word Ting, TW, Han came up, and multiple. I had fun with one of them. Sometimes acronyms will come up that aren't spelled quite right for a word, and then my guides will send me to which definition they're looking for. But there was multiple words today with TWATH and TWATH. I like this word, T-ATHRU with an accent on it. So T-Athru, and then Twathref. There's some very cool words that came up. And then TWA, which literally, TWA has a definition, that is a word. And it comes up as the number 3, the word you, and then the number 2. So that will come into play in these definitions as I go forward. Ren came up, and yeah, so a lot of different acronyms came up. Just wanted to give you an idea because there's a lot of information coming now. So the twins, a high road caravan, the Happiness Hotel, if any of you have watched the Muppet movies, that's from the Muppet movie. The twins being the high road, a caravan, the Happiness Hotel, a messy place to visit, to eat, ginger perhaps, or with Muslim, Turkish, or Chinese nobleman, and watch the ducks in the river. The extremities, the forearm, the foreleg, the ear, the wing, and the branch, or in other words, the extended family, right? So an inn, like the inn for Jesus, a place to stay where everybody's welcome. So TWA, taking the high road, of the Han and the Emperor. So that could be the Han Empire. Of course, there's a huge population of China is considered the Han population. And of course, the Han Dynasty. So the stability of the Emperor and the Han Dynasty, perhaps, or the Chinese, but the TWA, or 3, U, and 2, taking the high road, the Han, the Emperor of CD, so again, C is 3, D is 4, so here's the Emperor and the Empress again, also the Christ divine chakra system, and taking a risk or risky business with the Empress, who is abundance, and 3, and the moral man, the Pa, perhaps, the father, the Pa, the soul name, the natural boundary, the kidney, the reindeer. And it's so funny, when I went to write reindeer, I wrote rain beer, and it was snowing today. It's not only the second snow of the season. The first snow didn't stick at all. It was just a little bit of a flurry. And today it's still, I believe it's still snowing out there. So it was snowing, and then it came up reindeer, and I wrote rain beer, which then was coming up as raining beer, like pee on the snow. So that was very significant here. And this is about purifying, right? And the pure snow, the first snow of the season. What more pure is, what's more pure than that? The first snow of the season. And then all of a sudden it getting ugly when the cars drive by and create slush and yellow and gray, and people peeing on the snow, or the animals peeing on the snow and making yellow snow in their tracks. So the PA, the PA, that can be an assistant, or the state in Pennsylvania. The soul name, the natural boundary of nature. The kidney, the reindeer. The P in the purification. And then the wet run was coming up versus a dry run, right? Instead of a dry run, and that path back and forth, you know, just like you'd have a dog run, or at a farm you'd have a chicken run, or, you know, any kind of animal run where they can run free. That kind of tunnel effect was coming up here. And then the run and the parentheses, which then also parallels the space between the words. Okay, so the space between and boundaries were very significant here. The kidney then being the rain beer, right, because your kidney processes your pee. So that's why rain beer was coming up. The snow with pee on it, or the slush, the space between, the pause, the space to run, you know, runner chaser. The 3 of the Empress, the 7 of the Chariot, and the 4 of the Emperor. The Emperor and the Empress in the chariot ascending as the caravan, right? The traveling show. So very significant here. So then I had written some notes, and I started drawing lines around them. You know how it's very difficult to read something when you have a whole bunch of different notes, but they're not defined by a box around it? So I started creating boxes around them so I could understand them more easily, or find where I was going to, and drawing arrows from one to the other so I knew which order I wrote them down. This was very significant because it was regarding boundaries again. And the now moment. So drawing lines to separate, to define, to make things clearer, easier to understand, to hear, and hearing was important here, the ear came up, to hear another's need for space, right? Because we're each in our own sovereign field, and being, you know, being polite as far as allowing other people their field and their space. So the TWA coming up, the 3, U, and 2. So the U comes up between the 3 and 2. And then THR, which is taking the high road, or 309 again, the threonine, which may be a protein that you need, and the highway. So I wrote highway, and then TWA is a really highway, right? It's taking an airplane. The Han of the traveling caravan, the distant extended family, and the 4 of the Emperor, which is also 4 letters, going from TWA, THR, HAN, 3 letters, going to the number 4, which is 4 letters, the CD, which is 3 and 4, the SI unit of luminous intensity, or a compact disc, and the joint compound coming up here, or someone may have 2 offices, and then the 7 of the Chariot, of the feminine within the masculine. And a mug also comes up here, of thought and word, the blind man and the orphan, the sphere, the ball, the globe, the orbit, right, all around the orb. Also fungal disease of wheat and other cereals came up. And then 3T, right, of a toddler's size. The Empress being 3, which is then 5-letter word. And the divine feminine highway. To understand, to hear, to be comfortable and affectionate, to be now in the moment, naked in the portal, the roadway, the highway, the high road, to be quiet and behave. Foot and mouth syndrome, to avoid foot and mouth before the wrong thought gets to the Empress and transfers the fungus until thoughts are purified. All right, so the message there was saying spirit keeping twins apart, because once you manifest very quickly from thought, you're going to put it on to your twin. So they want to keep you apart until you're, you know, as purified as we can really get, so that you don't put your crap on the other. So 302 is coming up, and then 309 again. 3 being the Empress, remember, and the 0 being the human embodiment of Source, also the space between here in this example. The 3 of the Empress and the space between her, and the 2 of the High Priestess or others like her. The 309 being the Empress, with the 0 being the space between, and the 9 of the rest of the population, right? The experience with one-on-one, and the Empress having experience with the whole. The Empress must learn the space between her and the High Priestess or others like her, the twin flame community, And then her and the hermit, or the collective. Or in other words, her and psychic, who connects to the collective consciousness, and then her and the collective consciousness, who connects with the hermit, the wise individual, going both ways, needing to understand the whole process here and how this works. And then for some reason, the Taurus was coming up, the Vesica Pisces, and then the purification, which is Virgo. Taurus, Pisces, Virgo. The Taurus being, the apple, the Taurus field. It looks like the apple with the core in the middle is the vortex, right? And then the apple's like two circles put together like a Vesica Pisces, only before they're overlapped, they're just butting up to each other. And that butting up to each other, touching, becomes the vortex. That's the 0 point. So we have the Taurus coming up, and the toroidal field. The Vesica Pisces, which is those two circles then overlapping, and then the Virgo, which is coming up as the clearing, the purification process. The Taurus field, the Pisces being the two joining together, the joint, right, or the binding in a book, and then the Virgo energy of the clarification, the purification process. So it's showing us, is giving me these downloads to show me the process of how this journey works. The number 3, or the Empress, or Gaia, learning to be 2, one-on-one. All clear before 1 and blast off and homewards bound. I was getting 3 is not only the Empress, it's abundance and Gaia as well. Then I was getting love it or leave it. This is Mother Gaia saying that to us. Either love me or leave me. And then the number 3 of the friend, the advisor, or someone who's detached, right? They can walk away whenever they want. They're just your friend. They don't live with you. They're not that intimate with you. The number 2 of your other, the second. Second can feel like less than, taking a step back in a supporting role, yet attached, all right? Because you're one-to-one. One for all and all for one only works when all are on board. All aboard. When all are on board, the same page. The love train. I don't know why they had me do all on board. The love train, that's why it's coming up. One for all and all for one only works when all are on board or on the same page, being in the same dimension, the same resonance, the same frequency of vibration. And then they were showing me the sinus rhythm. So when someone dies, all of a sudden the sine wave, right, all of a sudden goes, and then it goes into a straight line, right? Just like someone would die. That's exactly what they're showing you. You see this all the time, but you forget. This is the frequency speeding up until the heart can't take it. So as the line speeds up there, your heart rate speeds up, you end up flatlining when you die. The heartbeat, it beats so fast, it's unable to pump blood and disappears into thin air. And when I wrote thin air by accident, I wrote thin appear, I wrote it again. So I had to correct it to air, and then it wrote air ear. So they wanted me to look up the word air ear, which it actually is a word. So the heart beats so fast, unable to pump the blood, and then disappears into thin air, and therefore ghosting, right? The soul leaves the body, and then air ear, that word, literally those two words, air and ear together, means pleasure, delight, satisfaction, frontier, or to air, to contact with air or fresh air, right? A fresh perspective. So when the soul leaves the body, it goes to a new frontier, and it feels satisfaction, pleasure, delight. It's like the hieros-gamos, the orgasm. Hieros-gamos, the orgasm. Air ear. So remember that word, ear. A-I-R-E-A-R. And again, the ear was coming up today too, separately from this. And I just wrote that by accident. So I love how Spirit connects me to these words. They're really cool. So there's a new boundary here. So when the body flatlines, it's literally showing you that line. So here's the picture, just so you can see in my notes. There's the sinus rhythm when someone dies. And when you go to that flat line, or that vertical line actually, it's like the vortex of leaving the body, just like we see in the Taurus, of the vortex in the middle of that. And I'll show you the picture of that on the next page, just in case you're not familiar. But as the soul leaves the body, ghosting the body, with pleasure and delight and satisfaction, the frontier to air and contact with fresh air, a new boundary, new space, new sights, sounds, smells, tastes, and feelings, and intuits, right? Intuition. Then the low voice was coming up. So regarding sound, the low voice is comforting for the human. It's mentally and sexually arousing or stimulating the cerebral cortex, which is also known as the mantle. It's like a skin packed with neurons regarding speech and thought and reaching out to the rest of the body connection. Okay, so there's a lot of nerves in that. It's like the skin for the brain. So the low voice is very comforting and arousing for the regular 3D brain. But the high pitch is stimulating the cerebral vortex as opposed to cortex, the cerebral vortex and magic. But annoys the man, right, who's that 3D gatekeeper who tells the woman then to shut up because he's based in the lower chakras. So the sexual energy of the man, more identifies with the low voice, the low vibration, because a lot of music and keys were coming up for me. I had been doing a little bit of research about notes in music. And so this makes sense as to why the masculine can't listen to the feminine, because her voice is a higher pitch. She's already in her higher chakras more so than the masculine as soon as he's born. And that's a generalization because most men's voices are lower than a feminine's energy. And this may be also why the man wants to tell her to just shut up and kiss me, right? For the woman, because the high pitch, especially a real high pitch whiny person, would really get on his nerves because he's not at that vibration. So the rear word about pleasure and frontier and frontal ear was coming up here. So controlling the field, right? Our sovereignty and our field, referencing limitations and expansions, right? The border lines that we need to make to understand and learn easier, just like having to draw boxes around the words and phrases that we've written to make it easier to read and understand so we can learn better, right? We need to break it down a little piece at a time because we're human and that's how we learn. So it's showing us why we need boundaries, because we need to take things in a little bit at a time. And then as we go, it becomes second nature, or it becomes more psychically deployed into our way of processing thoughts. So the cerebral cortex was coming up regarding the frontal lobe and the pleasure and the frontal ear, right? So the earlobes were coming up as well. A lot about the ear here, because we don't talk a lot about the ears and hearing and smelling. We talk a lot about the third eye and the feeling senses, but not the taste and the hearing and the smell. So the boundary marker, for the ears, they were taking me from the frontal lobe of the brain to the lobe of the ear, showing me the little notch in front of the ear is another boundary, right? So the dirt doesn't get into your ear. There's always a marker or a line to keep dirt out or to keep contamination out of the field. So to control the field, we have boundaries. We set limitations to allow ourselves to expand and come back as we are able to understand and learn easier. Then we go to, like ear piercing then was coming up, right? Because we put a hole through our ear, which is the lobe. And then that's when the torus or the toroidal field was coming up. And I want to show you that little picture I drew too, because it's as you see the vortex in the torus or the toroidal field, the vortex in the middle, and I had some technical drawings too that showed you this before, like when you have the two circles side by side and you draw a line where they connect, that is the 0 point, the vortex. But that's also where X marks the spot. And then you jump for joy. That's the point of excitement. You see the picture of it right there? Okay? It looks like somebody jumped, so I don't know if it's too close. It's like someone jumping for joy. Okay? That's the toroidal field and the vortex. And see the line going across from the two circles? So, and then it's bringing in the sinus rhythm again and the coming into the death wave where the body leaves, or the soul leaves the body. It's the same line as the vortex going down the line of the torus, and also the vesica piscis that are actually the circles that cross over that is also the quantum leap. And I actually brought that up last year, the year before, when I did that technical drawing of the pyramid with all the circles and how to quantum leap from circle to circle. It's like you're going around the circles, you know, and repeating patterns. And then when you're ready, you can stop and go around another circle, or you can quantum leap across circles. And that's the vortex or the portal that they're showing us here. So the cross portal or the vortex, X marks the spot, jumping for joy, expands the field. So then regarding the masculine and the feminine energy, just in general as humans, it was coming up as brain and brawn, and magic and muscle. So the masculine being the brain, you know, the logical brain, and the big muscle brawn, whereas the feminine is the magic brain and the muscle as opposed to brawn. And then the music instruments were coming up, just in case you're interested. The highest pitch instruments, I don't know if you'd get it right if you guessed. The highest hertz, I'm trying to clear that for you. The highest hertz instrument, and this was from the online library.wiley.com, is the organ at 7,000 hertz. Number 2 is the piccolo at 5,200 hertz. And that was also coming from cmuse.org. And I was also looking at ourpasttimes.com, so about some music stuff. The organ is 7,000, piccolo 5,200, and then the piano for the highest notes, 41 to 4,200 hertz. And then after that is the violin at 3,500, which is also the celeste and the xylophone. The flute's 2,500, the clarinet 2,000, and the oboe is 1,500, and the others are below that, all in hertz. So we go back to the 3 and the 4. The 3 to the 4 and the 7 in the space between was showing me it's earth to home. 3 is Gaia, the planet Gaia, and then 4 is going home, or the sun, the father energy, the earth and the sun, the central sun, and the 7 the space between, the spaceship, or the portal in which we can lift ourselves home. The 3 of Gaia, the 4 of sun, the 7 being the atmosphere, the bridge, the space, the tunnel, the portal, the gate, or the vortex, that quantum leap to 0 point, and the 8, which is then the ghost. You no longer exist. You're no longer seen, you know, once you're in 5D. So when I wrote the Taurus picture again, 3, 2, 1 was coming up here again. 3, 2, 1, jump. As I wrote it, because the 3, I was getting the circle of Gaia, the planet, and then the toroidal field in the middle, and then the vortex, of course, where they join, but they were showing me the 2 circles overlapping here, bringing up the Vesica Pisces, and like the lungs in the body, collapsing into center point, into the 0, all into 2, right? Gaia is the 3, the 2 circles coming together is the 2, coming into the crossing of the Vesica Pisces, which then becomes the 1, which is then the jump and the leap out of your body. Igniting that requires touch in order to blast off. So then they were showing me this again, the Taurus, the Pisces, the Vesica Pisces, and the Virgo. Taurus, Pisces, Virgo. The fixed 3 of the Taurus, because that's the Taurus of the Empress and the abundance and Mother Gaia, being that stubborn fixed energy, the field, right, the home of luxury and satisfaction, the 2 being the mutable Pisces, the joint, the flexible, the articulate and overlapping, the countdown. The Virgo, which is the hermit, purifying, readies and steadies with precision and laser focus, and then bringing in the mercurial twins with the Gemini, which, because both are ruled by Mercury, Virgo and Gemini, the twins, with harmonization and purified communications, bringing in Gemini. And then touched by God, which for me is Sagittarius, that Saggy energy I always talk about, that is the trigger. And then going from the purification of Virgo into Venus, Libra, which the middle point, right, where they change from Virgo to Libra is 0 point field, right? Because in the astrological chart, the middle point is where Virgo goes into Libra. That's the 0 point. The 0 point from 6 to 7, and 67 is the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal, humble servant. the 6th house of love, family, and community, and the being ignited by Gemini or the lovers, where 6 and 7, the 6th house and the 7th house meet, which then becomes the 66 of the 6th house with the Gemini lovers, 6 and 6, and then going from Virgo to Libra, which is 67. 66 is the Queen of Pentacles, 67 is the Knight of Pentacles. Here is the twin energy, okay, at 0 point. Root 66 of Gemini and Virgo, and the 67 of Virgo to Libra, the Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal, humble, grounded servants. And then it had started snowing at this point, which was very cool to see today. So I went back to the code line regarding parenting. And it was interesting too, because the word twat was coming up in the code line. And twat has a meaning. I don't know if you know that or not, because I know lots of you know that people call each other twats. But it's a slang vulgar word for vagina or vulva. It also can insinuate someone's stupid or an idiot. It also means to hit or to slap, twat. So going back to the code line, the heart rate of simple people, second to none, nothing between them, only space between their ears, triggered, urgent slap in the face, the wake-up call to change from twat to twit. And if you watch me regularly, you know that twit comes from intuition. In, twit, ion, and ion is connection. So in the twit connection is the intuition, not the in twat connection. So they wanted me to look up those definitions, so I got a whole nother bunch of acronyms here to look up and words that become words. So twat connection or twit connection, and this is not meant to be an insult for anyone. It's a way to get to the messages that they're bringing us. So in the twin connection, so for me, intuition, that word is the 2 T's or the towers of the twins. In the towers of the twins is you and I. In connection, that's intuition. So if you take it to in twat connection, it's funny because then TWA comes up instead of TWI or TUI. And TWA came up already as the 3U2. Instead of 321, it's 3U2. So the twat is W or we already before it even connects to another, which then becomes the third, and twit being you and I with the 2 T's of the twins, which you and I is the holy grail in the chakra system. The lowercase I for me is the chakra system with the third eye as being the dot, which also represents the U of the heart and the lowercase I of the third eye, the connection between the heart and the third eye. We know it can be a shock to the system, but the TWA is the 3U2, the Empress, you, and the High Priestess, or in other words, the 3D and the 2D, and the U time in between. Okay? Are you in between 2 and 3D? Or are you around people who are in 2 and 3D vibration? So then TUI came up as being intuition, right? Which means New Zealand honey eater. Water, king, chef. You and your. It's liquid. And to flow, to sow. It also comes up as coconut milk and earache. So here's the ear again. And otitis, or ringing in the ear. So in the Twin Towers is you and I. All falls to chance. To fail and rise. The support and to sustain. And be seduced by connection. And then if you spell twin, T-U-I-N, that's also a word that means garden, like the Garden of Eden, T-U-I-N. And then T-I-O-N also is a word that means to point a weapon or to aim, or in other words, the trigger. So in the garden of you and I, igniting connection. In the twin, the T-U-I-N, intuition. In you and your, in flow, in hearing the ringing in your ears, perhaps trigger happy, in intuition, in connection of all, of happenstance, of seduction and inspiration. So that's all the stuff that was coming up. So we get to the read. It's 3 of Wands upright, and we're at 39 minutes already, 48 or 49. 39 is the Knight of Cups, and 48 to 49 is the walking away and then getting your wish. So we start here at 254, being the High Priestess and the Page of Swords. The 3 of Wands upright is that being present to the third flame, the third energy. And beneath it was the 2 of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords here, right? So I have this card on top and then 2 cards beneath, and then the mini clarifiers on top. So present after dropping the ball, dropping the facade, tripping up, the Knight of Swords, the messenger of truth, can be the Knight of Shining Armor as well, but sending 5D messages and needing to surrender to the now moment. And the number 13 was coming up here, which is the transition, the portal. The death, the end, the dark night, the flame on the high road, the transition being strong, soothing the inner beast, or Scorpio's pet or ego here. The dark night in the middle of the 4D bridge, or Leo or ego, or a pet in the way. If one little board is out of place, the mules won't move forward and cross over to the other side. So that came up. I had, many years ago when I was in my 20s, I did the Grand Canyon. And when you go over the suspension bridge with the mules, if there's one little board out of place, they won't move. So of course our little group of mules got stuck in the middle of the bridge, and if you're on one of those mules, you don't want to be stuck on the middle of the suspension bridge, because it makes them very nervous and it makes the people riding them very nervous. I mean, fortunately for me, my mule was already on the other side, but the rest of the pack was all stuck behind this mule who wouldn't move because there was a board out of place from the last time they were there. They don't recognize something, they stop short. So that was coming up right here. If one little board is out of place, the mules won't move forward and cross over to the other side of the bridge. The King of Wands reversed is destined to the Divine Feminine in the 5D world, or Scorpio and Libra and Leo, or pet here, they're all upright, to support the transition to the 5D. From 3 to you to just 2 after a break. So saying there's 3 people in the situation, then you go to you to have just you time, the space between, and then down to just 2 after a break. Or after a death, or alone, or an end, and being strong. The King of Wands reversed is tired, sick, or angry, with Libra and Scorpio perhaps in their chart, and the world upside down, or cycle almost done, or the Divine Feminine in the 5D, and the space between, destined, the greasy wheel, or Scorpio Libra between the King of Wands reversed and the Divine Feminine, or Pisces, or Vesica Pisces. The space between. The 2 circles where they overlap. The High Priestess third party heartbreak. Energized, kids, Leo, fully exposed. This could be a secret here as well. Strong Leo and taming the beast, or Leo or pet with their butt involved. Connected to the Page of Swords, a message, stepping up, spreading the word, taking a swing or up to bat. Defenseless to energies and attacks. Feeling ganged up on. I was just getting ganglion, right? The gang lion. Feeling ganged up on, so definitely could be a Leo here, or ego. Detoxing, the Empress reversed, or Devil, Capricorn reversed, and Taurus reversed. Pisces, Virgo, secret, psychic abilities, and negative influences, heartbreakers exposed, or Leo or ego sticking their butt where it doesn't belong. There also could be someone with no social life here. Or a Leo or a pet is hiding, but their butt is sticking out, while friends connect or talk on the phone, or kids detoxing to their crazy mother, detoxing ice cream and movies, or with ice cream and movies, defenseless to sexual connection, or snake in the grass, or crazy as batshit was coming up. Or kids gossiping or connecting online with Capricorn reversed and Taurus reversed, defenseless to it. Or that Empress reversed needs some declogging, or perhaps a plumber. Or the Devil and Mrs. Jones take a fall together. Or about the devil preying on an older woman and now detoxing to clean up their act. A blessing in disguise. Separation, heartbreak, rain, snow. After not sleeping well, a bold move to rein in the dogs, the kids, or the reindeer. The polarities, or close up shop, or pee in the snow, and end the nightmare, and take a drive. Now that the quilt is complete at 329, which is the Empress and the Three of Wands being present, or perhaps going to get gifts. So now that the quilt is complete and everything is in order, just like the mule crossing the bridge, once the board gets put back in place, then they can finish crossing the rest of the way at 3:30, which is the Empress and the Four of Wands. All right, so that could be a mother, a grandmother, an aunt, a boss who's at home, needing to get their home in order. Now, there can be two Empress energies in this read, so I don't want you to get the wrong idea. If we're talking about an Empress and you say, that's not that Empress, there may be definitely two different energies here of older women or bosses or two grandmothers or two mothers, that kind of energy. There is true Cancer energy comes up right there. The underlying energy here is true love. This is a romance of a lifetime, and beneath that was let your friends help you. So true love beckons as the twins perhaps are out for a meal or choosing a new path in what's not working out. In love, connection, perhaps two are unhappy or dissatisfied, or someone's unhappy, feeling alone, and the Empress reverse is in need of a lantern, fruit, fan, and dessert, or feeling out in the cold with olive branch extended, a porch, a violin and roses and mistletoe to warm things up, or perhaps manipulate someone. No more rich bitch attitude with red boots and labels to walk all over him. Two, to enjoy a simple life and surrender with 91, and beneath that was love partnership number 26, which is the Page of Wands. Two out in the cold together, perhaps without their mother, and this can even be like a teenager living at home with their mom who gets out of the house so she can't boss her around, because it definitely looks like a cold, like manipulating mom type of energy here. Out in the cold together without their mother, interfering, right? So it could be someone too who they just want freedom from. Foolish behavior, embarrassing self, or slipped and fell, or fell from grace, or lacking faith and weak, or fell and can't get up. Aries reversed, Leo reversed, and the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, community, or legacy, jealous, rejected, or moody. The injustice of the King of Pentacles reversed, wounded warrior on their last leg, or begging, or chucking his cookies on a park bench, or with the spins in the basement, or opening their eyes to see the exposed beams on the ceiling perhaps, or something they all of a sudden notice because they're lying in a position they normally wouldn't. They see something lying above in the rafters, so someone might actually find where something is. Or Robin Hood is out of steam, taking his righteousness a bit too far, or resonating with the fungus in the grass, a ladybug in the ivy, or jumped from a plane, took a dive, perhaps to feel alive again. Or snakes staking out a rich man to take them down, or the thief feels bad for taking down a good man. Aries reversed, Leo reversed, and Libra reversed here. Could be a bodyguard too for a very wealthy, dark group. The wounded warrior present to flame, the Empress reversed not working out, or the King of Pentacles reversed down on knee at present, the Empress reversed overworking or not working out in the cold, making the best of it, in surrender. The recent past is the Four of Pentacles reversed, the Divine Masculine, his heart in the bat cave, opening up, dropping responsibilities to confess, or dumping a load, or dumping the trash, or dumping it all to play ball. Withholding time, money, and effort, vulnerable, not sharing, lack of affection or breakup, or saving money for vulnerable child who may be in debt, or not sharing in a breakup or in a lack of affection. Taking a load off under the radar, feeling a failure with the Ten of Cups reversed and the Four of Wands upright. The foundation here, and the Ten of Cups reversed, is an unhappy family or that end of an emotional cycle of unhappiness. And then the Four of Wands is the home or the union. The foundation is the Six of Cups upright, loving each other, nostalgic. The Knight of Swords rushing in the 5D, connection, making them feel bad, or the Empress waking them up in the middle of the night at 4:10, which is the Emperor and the turn for the better. So the Knight of Swords rushing in, 5D connection, and that could just be the connection making them feel bad, or an Empress wakes them up in the middle of the night to rush over, like it's someone who's always trying to, pity pleas for help, waking someone up in the middle of the night just so they'll have to rush over and take care of something that they should have taken care of themselves, or taking call at night and leaving the other person behind at home, and that may be like a regular thing at 411, the Emperor and Justice. The Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, frustrated, uninspired, with the Six of Cups upright, the soulmate connection, or loving kids, or nostalgic memories here. With the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, the slave driver, the Page of Wands reversed, taking a break, or laying them to rest perhaps, and only sweet memories to grieve now. That could be, that's not going to be for many though. The central energy here is Justice, divorce, Libra at night, solar eclipse or Cancer, spreading the word that the worst is over with social distancing or negative associations. Third party, detoxing, and the Knight of Wands, passionately rushing in or getting busy now, inspired to act. The Queen of Cups upright, focusing on her cup, her heart, focusing on being loving. And the challenge being here for the twins is the Seven of Swords reversed, coming clean, getting clean, cleaning up your act or cleaning up your space, and not watching or passing downloads, perhaps challenged by sharing supplies, suddenly insecure or without tools. The Hierophant, Taurus, marriage, religion, or establishment, powerless, dependent, or a loss of power, money, and independence. Connected to the Empress reversed or Taurus reversed at work, church, school, or place of co-creation. The Magician reversed, insecure and manipulative, or without the tools to deal with something, or literally without the tools that they need to work. To free themselves from the powerless, the attacks, or from just not caring, or fool with open heart is free while surrounded by insecure and defenseless people or those without an excuse. Surrendering to depression and or arrogance in a negative exchange or a heated exchange, not expressing their true feelings, holding back. The King of Wands reversed, shaman, is closing the distance gap, with the Queen of Wands reversed, silencing the Queen of Swords reversed, who could be a hermit or Virgo, or sleeping with her. And the Knight of Cups upright faces the Knight of Swords upright, receiving orders, or growth, or some kind of offer, or perhaps a command to dump emotional attachments, to come clean, with the Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Swords upright. Or the King of Wands reversed is closing the distance gap by silencing the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords, both reversed, and the Hermit is missing their flame, and the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords are both upright, coming together after forced to expose all their options for what they really are, coming clean about guilt and shame to the Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Swords upright. But the King and Queen are not looking back at them. They're looking straight ahead. Now is the King of Wands reversed. After a sudden explosion, eruption, epiphany, or their crown blowing, or their mind blowing, a mind-blowing experience, home or about a home or union, and implementing a plan. The Page of Pentacles reversed, in need of help, money, or an opportunity to implement a plan, perhaps of release, but they may be too weak right now. Presently pushed to their physical and emotional limits, in need of help, unable to get something off the ground, or needing help with a child. The Chariot is upright in divide and conquer. This is the Bull's way, covering up the past or drama, and now coming clean at 440, which is the Four of the Emperor and then the Page of Cups. You know, the opposite ends of the spectrum. The Page of Cups, very sweet and innocent, and it's 717 on the clock. And then the Emperor, who's in control of everything. And it's 53:55 on this clock, which is the Knight of Swords and the Truth. So the Queen of Wands reversed, coming the Bull's way, covering up the past or drama, now coming clean to the Queen of Wands reversed, so the King and Queen of Wands both reversed, and forcing her to choose a path, a new passion, perhaps the Queen of Swords reversed. Two fire bulls going separate ways. The female bull wants the King of Wands reversed, but the male bull wants a new passion and growth and creativity, for dependent or powerless to cutting hairs or splitting hairs or cutting cords. The harsh truth of a porn addiction or a dominatrix, a rehab, a prison, an arrest, or a hospitalization, or lost all their money due to codependency or addictions. Present to a romantic tie with nostalgic memories and strumming my pain with his fingers, love rain on me, the King of Cups upright is released by the Queen of Swords reversed, her awakening, and her letting go to receive. Separation and dumping emotional attachments, cleaning up the act of the Queen of Swords reversed and the King of Swords upright. And soon for the twins is the Three of Pentacles, that place of co-creation, between the Empress reversed and the High Priestess upright, which also can be a Pisces, Virgo, or a secret, or their psychic abilities, unhappy in partnership and walking away from Hermit, or while Hermit sheds light on it, the situation. Walking away from the Page of Pentacles reversed, knowing the truth but keeping to self to avoid a fight, or visiting a sick mother at the nursing facility and dissatisfied with the way they have to visit them under a watchful eye and limited time, or walked away from the Page of Pentacles reversed in need but walked away from them pretending not to know so they didn't have to deal with it. The twin flames are seeing themselves as the Eight of Swords reversed, released from that prison, anxiety and fears, or escaped from it. The King of Swords upright and the Knight of Cups upright, offering love that knocks another for a loop perhaps, or tripped them up, or offering love to get them to remove the mask or drop the facade. And the Emperor reversed, impatient, or lost his temper with the King of Swords upright and the Queen of Pentacles upright. And the Queen of Pentacles is announcing to the unhappy family, or an end to an emotional cycle of unhappiness, or the King of Swords sends his love but doesn't go to visit the Emperor reversed or the Empress reversed, whoever it may be who's sick or in the hospital. Or he doesn't go to visit the Emperor reversed or go to help, or maybe doesn't go with the Emperor if he's going to see the Empress. And then the Emperor reversed is out of control, abusing their power, or he fell and he can't get up. Or Aries reversed and Sag reversed could be two fallen angels with bad tempers, and the Queen of Pentacles is letting the rest of the family know what's going on, perhaps making an announcement or making calls, or a wake-up call that the emotional cycle of unhappiness or family is so over, like not doing this anymore. Pay attention to the red flags. Engagement comes up, relationship factors, or religious factors rather, which can be any kind of differences, not just religion. Make the effort, and then let go of control issues. All came up for the twins. Around the twin flames, or how they are seen, is the hanging man, awake and bored of the same offers, same old stuff. And Justice and or Libra, ignoring as usual. Finding peace, leaving as the Knight of Pentacles offers help post-war to straighten out any confusion, or dumping emotional attachments on Justice, Judge, Divorce, or Libra, or blaming it on that stuff at 507, which is the Hierophant and the Chariot. And this could be somebody put in a nursing home or a medical facility where, there's certain siblings who always do all of the work, and then there's other siblings who don't do anything to try to get out of it. And there definitely can be that kind of situation coming up here too. So released and awakened, released in an awakening, or released and awakened, or by an idea, or finding peace with the Knight of Pentacles offers post-war to clean up trash and waste and dump it on a judge or justice system who's too apathetic to care. Or the Knight of Pentacles ending the war by dumping emotional attachments to people, places, and things on, or blaming all on the justice system, a judge, or Libra upright, or Capricorn reversed. While the Divine Feminine could be announcing a wake-up call to end an emotional cycle of unhappiness, while the King of Swords is offering her love by dumping the trash while she's busy doing her work. There may be two bad men watching their activities. The block here is the Six of Wands reversed, feeling a failure, or doing things under the radar, or doing things for attention. The King of Pentacles upright, who could be a Virgo or a Hermit, offering the whole truth to the Queen of Cups upright. Or that if the King of Pentacles upright gives the whole truth to the Queen of Cups upright, that will make him a failure, or be deemed as neediness or underhanded behavior or conceit. So this is the block for the masculine. So parenting comes up, but even more so here is physical activity, spiritual partnership, health, and love. And just one second. So parenting, even more so, is physical activity, spiritual partnership, health and love, dumping one or two lovers, detoxing, feeling castrated, so detoxing that feeling of feeling castrated, or Gemini reversed and Capricorn reversed, destined to fail, or destined to be needy for attention, or destined to do things under the radar and keep it to themselves to avoid confrontation, destined to separate and dump emotional attachments, to being the boss, or coming clean to the King and Queen of Swords, ignited, inspired, a new passion to find peace, the King of Cups released a hostage, the Queen of Swords reversed, awakened to let go of holding on, to allow self to receive passion, growth, and creativity, or fix things up or spend a little bit, to receive an offer, or to be able to vacate or go on vacation, time in the sun, with kids, Leo, or full exposure. The Page of Wands reversed may be pissed off that they have to pick up the King of Wands reversed, two out in the cold to see the Emperor reversed, perhaps fallen angel or impatient man who doesn't share, is unfair, who is in debt, or an inequitable relationship here. So there could be three generations here. We have a Page of Wands reversed, a King of Wands reversed, and an Emperor reversed. So we have three fiery signs. They're all probably Sag and Aries, because Leo is very upright in this read. So all three of those fire signs in this family are probably mostly Sagittarius and Aries. Or Cancer, or a car is between the father and child, out in the cold, or they are Aries reversed and Sag reversed, not sharing with each other, or the Page of Wands reversed is driving the King of Wands reversed crazy, and neither are sharing their feelings, not surrendering or tripped up, passing 5D messages, or sending a child to do a man's work. Regarding being present, or regarding a present or gift, which, so many times guys will send other people or their kids to get a gift for them, perhaps at 542, which is the Hierophant and the Two of Cups. Perhaps for the Empress reversed, the gift may be for the Empress reversed or for multiple people, like for family members, things like that. And that's at 543. 543 jump. 5 is the Hierophant, 43 is the Three of Cups coming together. The underlying energy, by the way, there was an Aries, Leo, and Libra all reversed. And then in the read, they were all upright again. So there's some kind of shift here from the underlying energy to the main read. Present to or for the kids, or soulmate, or something memorable, or family giving money to the Knight of Swords upright and the Page of Wands reversed to go buy gifts, or perhaps giving money to them separately to go buy gifts for each other, or a get well gift for someone who's not well or who's sad or grieving, a release from prison or from anxieties, awakened divine masculine's heart is coming out of the Batcave for justice, challenged by not giving too much or challenged by needing to take a risk, coming together to work under the radar or at place of co-creation under the radar. The King of Wands reversed could be a Libra upright or destined to ignite a big flame and move to peace by exposing all, sunshine, happiness, or propose a vacation where it's warm. Present to third flame, the divine masculine's heart opening, but wounded and tired. The Six of Cups, inner and outer children, loving each other in justice, divorce, or Libra, and challenged by a need to take risk with, or as the King of Wands shaman reversed, released from prison or fears, to come together to work or visit for ideas, or to awaken, but do it under the radar. Destined Libra, or two, to ignite a big flame and find peace in the sun, or be fully exposed. A present, a gift, justice, destiny, flame, peace, and sun is the gist of this read. May have been a collection for someone to get a gift for somebody, like for the Emperor or the Empress reversed, whoever's not well. And I wanted to give you an idea of the families here, like what they looked like, because the Emperor and the Empress were both reversed, and there may be two Empresses both reversed in this read. Of the Pentacles family, they were all upright except for the Page. Okay, so they were doing well, and the Ten of Pentacles family was doing well as well. But the Ten of Cups family was all reversed. The Ten of Cups was reversed. The King was upright and the Queen was upright, and the Knight, but the Page of Cups was reversed. So the Pentacles family and the Cups family seem to be the same as far as individuals. However, the Ten of Pentacles family is upright and the Ten of Cups family is reversed. And that may show you the effect of them. Like the Page of Pentacles reversed isn't affecting the Pentacles family, but the Page of Cups reversed is affecting the Cups family very much. Because it's up, the whole family is unhappy for them. The Swords family, the King and the Page are upright, but the Queen and the Knight, I'm sorry, they're all upright except for the Queen. The Queen of Swords is reversed. The other three are upright. In the Wands family, they're all reversed except for the Knight. So the Wands family is the worst off here. And there's definitely could be a fight or a breakup between the King and Queen of Wands going on here. Let's see, Ace of Wands and Ace of Swords were upright, but the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups were reversed in this read. Leo was very upright, and as well as Libra and Cancer and Scorpio, very upright today. Sagittarius was reversed, but the Knight of Wands was upright, so there's a little upright there too. Aries is split, upright and reversed, as well as so is Taurus. This Taurus feminine's reversed, masculine's upright. Virgo is split as well. The Hermit's upright, Magician reversed. Gemini is very reversed. Aquarius is split, upright and reversed. And Pisces is upright and reversed as well. Okay? So I'm going to pull an energy deck card for you here. We're already at 1:06, so I don't want to take too long for you guys. 7:30. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn for the twin flames today? Take another deep breath. Let's also clear all blockages to positive energy flow in all chakra layers, auric layers, grounding and galactic cords, across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all those concerned, and fill any empty spaces with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, what is our takeaway from the read today? There we go. Attachment, taking the mask off. Number 5, the Hierophant, which was upright in the read today. So it's about taking the mask off. Letting go of attachments to whatever it is, you know, attachments to covering up who you really are, right? Making yourself gray instead of colorful, the colorful human that you actually are. And we also have the hostilities that was coming up, and this is this energy because the Page of Wands and the King of Wands and the Emperor were all reversed. There's definitely anger coming up in the Wands family here of the masculine energy, right? The feminine taking off her mask to be truly who she is, and the masculine getting out his anger issues. And the contract perhaps between them, or the masculine fighting about a contract. And then we have the contract back here, but it looks like the Declaration of Independence as well. So it could be issues with the justice system, the balance, the legal stuff, and the lovers. And this can just be love, family, community as well, and regarding contracts here. And blind justice. And making sure you know what's important to you in life, what you value, the door to value. 31 is the expansion of the five of Wands, the conflict, the confrontation. You know, what are you willing to fight for? What's worth it to you? And that doesn't mean fight physically. It means standing up for yourself. The foundation here is the community, the underlying energy. 7 is the Chariot again. We talked a lot about the vehicle of ascension and the community. And here's the sun beneath that. So getting some sun, vacation time, bathing, taking salt baths, right? Taking good care of yourself, pampering yourself. In the sun, the 4 of the Emperor, right? The home, as opposed to Gaia being the 3. And then here's the 3 of the women, right? The mother, Gaia, and her ladies. And the 7, which is the space between, right? They all need to give each other space in the community. So let's see what Scooby-Doo has to say. The energies from this deck, they're really coming up young today. So it looks like a lot of young energy, like teens and 20 type kids. And just really dealing with the kids and their energies, which is why parenting is coming up. Because you may be dealing with their transition into the 5D as well. Let's see what Scooby-Doo has to say. So really big here was parenting. And then we had physical activity, spiritual partnership, health, and love. So for the twins, what does Scooby have to say? Okay, maybe a little dizzying. The Four of Wands here is upright. So that's the home. So maybe too much activities going on at the home, or just feeling off and you need to take a break. Okay, so that's really important. And there was giving someone space to relax, you know, between things, like getting out of one situation and going into another and needing to take a break between. Okay, so be good to yourself. And there again is someone going to visit, right? So we were talking about visiting the Emperor, the Empress perhaps in the hospital, the nursing home. And all these people afraid of whoever's driving, or they're afraid to go see them there, or maybe they're going to visit someone who's got a bad temper and they really don't want to go, but they're feeling like they have to because it's their parent or grandparent. But somebody's not feeling good. This could be an emergency run to the hospital as well, because someone's not feeling good. It could be a pet as well. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Wands. Okay, choosing a path. Maybe choosing a different path next time. Instead of maybe, you know, it's like a dog eating something they shouldn't have eaten on the grass or something like that. And after this experience, perhaps learning their lesson, and we'll choose a different path next time. And it doesn't have to be an animal. This is about people. But it could be your pet as well. I know it's not focusing forward, but. And then the Seven of Pentacles reversed, which is implementing a new plan, okay? So choosing something different next time, you know, learning your lesson. And it could be someone who is sick or throwing up. You know, someone's driving someone to the hospital and they're worried they're going to throw up and mess up the car. That could be as well. Maybe someone won't swing so much next time, you know, to make themselves sick or dizzy, or go on the merry-go-round. The underlying energy is someone doing too much, the King of Wands, and he's reversed in the read. All right? So he did too much and it made him sick, right? This is somebody working hard and playing hard. Ten of Cups energy is reversed in the read. Right? Emotional unhappy now, because you're working hard and playing hard. There's no room to be you, right? Just going crazy, like go, 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 go. King of Wands, both of these cards were reversed in the read. So they were upright and now they're not, because doing too much, doing everything for everybody else and not themselves. And then going to the hospital perhaps. All right, so that's coming up. And I'm going to give you a Journey of Love card too. Let's see. Let's see what comes up here. What is our takeaway from this, please? Sacred convergence. And we were talking a lot about the vortex in the beginning, which is that sacred convergence. And here is Gamos. 28 is the Two of Wands, the Twin Flames, the choice of path. And that is the message today. So we're just going to read you that one. I think they want me to count a few cards too. Hold on. Okay. The bottom of the deck is the Heart of God. Okay, and that's number 9, which is the Hermit. So the Hermit and the Heart of God and the underlying energy, and then sacred convergence coming together. The choice of path. And it's like a big stage, you know? It's like on an iceberg where there's a big stage and here's the leaders of the performance and there's all these people who have come around to see. Oh, and remember, this is the one where I said it looked like the Twin Towers, where it's hollow in the ground. It raises up above the ground where there's a spiritual performance there. And I told you also that I'd seen the angels at the bottom of the Statue of Liberty meeting a Palladian ship. So there could be something about that coming up here as well. Let's see how many cards came up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right, that's completion. The bottom of the deck of this pile that I had to count is the cloak, 50, which is the 10 of Cups, which was reversed. So an ending of a cycle, and maybe some sadness about the end of a cycle, and just needing some time alone. And we're going to read you Sacred Convergence here. And that's number 28. There is a coming together happening with your body and soul, a unification of all that is within you. This is akin to traveling to a strange land, as all sorts of new sensations, not all welcome at first, begin to make themselves known to you. If you're experiencing discomfort within your own body or uncertainty and a sense of expansion to include more of life in your thoughts and feelings, then you are conscious of this sacred convergence. It's like two worlds or more colliding. If you're sensitive, you will feel it happening as an important event without necessarily having a physical situation to attribute the experience to, or upon which to hang an explanation. You may also be encountering this in a very physical sense by finding yourself in situations which you previously would have avoided. You may be meeting people and thrown into a relationship with them, apparently more by circumstance than by your own conscious choosing. This is a meeting of you with your shadow and something to rejoice in. Even if it's uncomfortable at times, be gentle and loving with yourself and kindly seek to find the beauty in what you are learning about yourself in your interactions and experiences. You are a wise soul seeking to know yourself rather than judge others. Remember your divine perfection as you are thrilled and challenged in this time of great growth. You are guided to be curious as though traveling to a foreign land and remaining open to experiencing its treasures. This oracle holds a message for you. A deeper part of yourself is calling you forward. Any discontent, struggle, anxiety, or fear is a subconscious recognition of this. Don't worry. You are a unique plant in the divine garden. And that came up as the word twin, T-U-I-N, garden. You don't have to know what plant you are in order to grow. You just need to live each day and the growth happens naturally. Then you can see over time the beauty of your true nature revealing itself to you. It will be a revelation to be relished. And the poem reads, from the white foam on the surface of blue to the mystery beneath the waves, wherever your travels may lead, may the artist's touch inspire us to explore the ocean realm and celebrate the beauty as land gives way to water and water to the unknown. Okay. Well, that was beautiful, and it definitely resonated with the read. That something's coming up that you might have to deal with, and maybe you don't know why you have to deal with this, but you may be confronting something in yourself that you need to recognize and see, and just to see also how far you've come and how you deal with things in a different way now. So make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature, and rise and be loved, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.